I had a really interesting insight and download last night whilst being outside with the trees. And it was like intertwining the spiritual concepts of things like karma and um, manifestation, like the secret law of attraction. And yeah, just our ability to manifest our desires. and and then what does karma have to do with it, and then facing our truth, facing our reality in the here now. um and then it was intertwining with ultimately the mathematics of astrology and numerology, and then intertwining that with sacred geometry as well. And I mean, we could really look at our reality and just know that it is made up of numerology. It's sacred geometry ultimately is maths, and maths is the most detached and fundamental uh, way of understanding the makeup of creation, because it's super detached. Like numbers don't have emotions. So although emotions would be made up of certain mathematical patterns or formulas, you could say. And then it was like, yeah, it's kind of like taking the emotions out of it, but then with respects to karma, understanding why we have emotions as human beings and what the emotions represent as far as our karma goes, and then how to outwork karma. In this community, we talk about 0 point. Sometimes we talk about things like clarity, and in my experience as a human species, human population on this planet, we've been under the illusion and or like distortion of well, one, no connection whatsoever, so there is no karma, but there is, because we're always attracting our own geometric, um I want to say base tones, but everything that we perceive around us is our own creation in essence, right? And that is the kind of hard pill to swallow. And yet it's my endeavoring to always offer these sort of different perspectives around one, like I'm thinking about how it's not useful to judge and compare, because we're not meant to do that, because other people's karma is their own. So the way people face their reality has a different feeling biofeedback than anybody else. So for one person, going through divorce could be just as energetically, i.e., emotionally traumatizing, as somebody in a war-torn country. And that might seem really like, oh, but in truth, that's kind of karma. That's why we're looking at the things that we're looking at, is because that's what our soul's intent for learning truly is. And if we're not meant to judge books by covers, then that's just a golden rule across the board. And it's much easier for us to embody the truth of our knowing when we're not in comparison loops, right? And there again, in the 3D matrix system, um, we're actually taught that as a function, like comparing and competing with one another to get ahead. It's a dog eat dog world. Like those distortions of truth are ultimately veils just to keep people, um, well, under the veil, like in a dream spell, you could say. And that's part of our karma as well, to have sold out, like as in to put pieces of ourselves outside of self and to keep looping it back. And that's why we're in quite entrenched low level patterns. That's the collective karma, because we sold out to like, let's see what it feels like to be disempowered or enslaved or under an illusion, or to actually believe fundamentally that we're separate from source, we're disconnected, the black hole sun kind of thing, that we are completely powerless and everything outside of us has power over. And that's the ultimate sin, that's the ultimate distortion of truth. And so to reclaim the self, that's why we have a lot of these teachings, the spiritual teachings, the occult, esoteric, so like astrology, and increasingly so things like tarot, but certainly the intuitive wisdom that comes through the beings that are endeavoring self-transformation and complete manifestation in the earth realm, is that embodiment is the activation of sacred geometric structure of an elevated humanity, not necessarily like an enlightened humanity or like some perfect dogmatic structure, but rather just elevated, more harmonious, more compassionate, more empathetic, more generous. Like greed as a construct it can only be upheld in that base tone perception. And again, this is just a kind of infinite spiral dynamic of evolution of a species on a planet. And that's how and why we can understand our own deepening understanding of sacred geometry, of mathematics, of numerology, of astrology, and of the quanti, like of quantum physics and quantum mechanics and quantum coherence, and our embodiment of a deeper understanding of the function of an atom, and our connection to it, our awareness of it is also one and the same as our outpouring of our own creative field. Oh, isn't it funny, as I kind of deduce and translate, it's different from how I possibly receive the codes or the messages. And that's, I suppose, part of the translation here. It's that in anyone's awareness, one is the self that I am endeavoring and continually, eternally evolving through the expression of self. Well, I guess that's a big part of it, is that's my embodiment understanding of our ability to transform our karma, is to feel it fully. So we have to go through the depths of those darknesses. We have to sit with our shame. We have to feel our guilt. We have to not react to it, not keep shaming ourselves and not keep guilting ourselves into doing bullshit for other people. It's the reversal of that. It's feeling all the guilt that drives our behavior and then going, I'm not gonna react to that. I'm not gonna feed that as a truth, as a construct. Why? Because it's born of fear. It's born of separation. And in essence, and again, kind of geometric level, we then pull in our base tone creations: fear, shame, enslavement, disempowerment, poverty, right? We pull it into our own field through the alchemy of holding space and transforming the codes. The feelings are just the codes. The feelings are is the karma. Essentially, the karma is the codes as well. And all we're ever doing is up-leveling them. So we spiral dynamic outward. We're constantly looking at another pattern and then another pattern. And then the light of our awareness, the silent witness, the higher self, the intuition, the God source, whatever you want to call it, is that aspect of self perceiving the experience and the experiencer to transform the base tone creation. So we do this one for all. Hence this awareness with more and more people of humanity undergoing a great awakening, the humanity endeavoring to shapeshift that which we call the system, or and ultimately I'm aware of that as well, is that it's really easy for us, and that's how we've been kind of programmed. We latch on to different causes and causalities, and that's still a distraction. We keep reading more books, we keep finding more healers, we keep looking for the teachers, we keep seeking the modality which is going to fix us. But in my awareness, you're the only being that can actually fix the self. And it's not, that's paradoxical because you're already fixed. But in my awareness, the truth of our coming to the 0 point is that there's nothing outside of source. There's nothing outside of yourself. And so in truth, every moment is giving you an opportunity to biofeedback off of your whole reality, right? So the healing process is you owning the totality of your experience. If we're trying to find the truth in a book, or if we're trying to find the awesome life in the next experience, it's like we're spinning webs, we're chasing our tails, rather than being anchored in the truth of your knowing, the seat of your power, the altar of God, which is your connection to the heart field of that which you're creating, which is an infinity loop that's always coming back to reflect the source. We, in essence, are always being given opportunity to drop or shed base tone patterns based in fear, ugliness, shame. And yet I can testify, certainly in my own experience, is that they do keep coming like the patterns and cycles will continue to come up and through us. And certainly I'm aware for this community that you're not isolated in your co-creative manifestation. We are, in essence, a unity piece, the collective, the body of Christ. It's the mastermind in essence. Hence, I guess the interesting dynamic of being able to be detached, completely detached, with the spectrum of light and dark frequencies on this planet, and then at the same time have a completely open heart for empathy, compassion, and intuitive connection. In the responsibility of how you biofeedback and self-care and self-responsibility, and at the same time, open-hearted love and compassion for the whole. So it's a really kind of, the paradoxes continue to kind of just like blow my mind. And I'm going to continue to noodle. I'll continue to noodle. So how curious. There's like one of you here, no comments are being made. I'm pretty sure I went unlisted because this was like a new-ish insight. And so I didn't want to be distracted by all of the comments. and then I'm seeing one of you. This must have something to do with like notifications and how some of you can get notified even if I go unlisted. I'm not sure, but it would appear that one of you are here. Actually watching me live. How peculiar. And even though I'm pretty sure I went unlisted, which means like nobody can see the video. Anywho, that is all. I hope that was useful to you guys, and I will continue to noodle. And oh my gosh, so I keep forgetting, but then I remember. I've got to. Oh, hello. Sovereignty, abundance, manifestation. Number 9, I will be, and actually I think I might do some of them live just for fun, but I'm going to go through the 13 zodiac signs. I'm probably going to start with Pisces and maybe work backwards, but don't hold me to that. I'm just going to crack on with the 13 zodiac monthly tarots for October. Woo, woo. So big week this week. Saturn's going direct. A lot of obstacles and challenges are now going to be released or lifted, and a lot of exciting developments and new directions unfolding for so many of us here. So happy week, everybody. Happy Monday to you. And if whoever is here, if you're watching, let me know who you are. I'm curious about who can access the unlisted videos as and when I'm doing them, but clearly you don't have the ability to post because normally you guys that are here are posters, as in you're like, hi, what? I'm just here, but. Anywho, I love you guys loads, and I'm wishing you a super, super happy, happy Monday. And hey, check out All to Love T-Mail. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. I cry to die. How do I fix that shop though? Okay, so look, I've got like cool, can you see? There's new shops there. So cool butterfly tote bag, love tote bag. I made this one as well. An herbivore, what's it called? Team Herbivore. Oh, in 2 different colors. So check out the All to Love shop. I'm gonna keep being creative with it. I've done the All to Love tarot, the daily tarot on All to Love Instagram. And that is all. That's all for today on the old YouTube. Thanks a lot for being here, you guys. I really appreciate you and have lots of love. I also really appreciate those of you who book readings and perspective calls and purchase All to Love goodies. And oh yeah, let's not forget about this awesome thing, my book. You can buy my book. Discover why embracing your most feared emotions leads to freedom. 11 steps explain how to transform your life into one you've only ever dreamed of. Like for rizzles, this is my life. I'm like, what is life? It is but a dream. An awesome dream, mostly also sometimes deeply emotional, but I'm alive, so what? Okay, I'm off. I'm out. I'm outie. I love you. Have a great Monday. Peace.